What is good, my friends? It's your homie Twitty, and I'm back at it with another reaction. So Renee's been asking for this one for a while, so I decided to finally get around to doing it. Sorry it's late. Orbit Culture, the song Saw. You just said Orbit Culture, so I'm just gonna listen to Saw. It was one of the first ones that caught my attention. Let's give them a shot and see how they do. I've never reacted to this band. I've never heard of this band. So we're welcoming them to the channel. So we'll pull it up here on the screen and I will pull up my lyrics and let's get into it. Orbit Culture, Saw. So the price of existence are stagnant bodies bound in a time of the living. And nothing's what it's been. I have drowned in this vague world. We pretend, but the madness always on, deep inside our sleeping state, where our black thoughts thrive. So I really enjoy this, cause the way that he came in heavy, but then he had some singing, and he almost sounded. It's kind of funny because he had some singing, and it was very clean, like the lead singer of Metallica is what I could think of, where with the way that those clean vocals that were in the middle of those him screaming like that, which he has a very nice powerful scream. What I've noticed is that they came in swinging, they didn't give me they didn't, no warning, just and doing things like that, especially in middle, it creates this anticipation, and you start to bounce, and I didn't even think of it subconsciously, I just started headbanging, and I've never heard this song before, just from the initial just you know um but he said the price of existence are stagnant bodies bound in a time of the living. So essentially, he's talking about existence and being stuck, and feeling trapped in, time of living, bound, because trapped, bound, trapped in a time of the living. So he's saying that we're living, but we're trapped in this and we're not going anywhere. Said nothing's what it's been, and I mean, that's relatable. Who's honestly been man, it's not the same as it used to be, nostalgia is a real thing. That I have drowned in the vague world. We pretend, but the madness always on, deep inside our sleeping state where our black thoughts thrive. Which I don't know if he's just talking about from the standpoint of just people being evil, because essentially there are good people out there, but there are evil people out there, and because of the things that the evil people do, it brings attention to them more often, and it feels like there's more evil people. There's more evil people than good people in the world. It's just my thoughts on it. Look, dude, lyrics are up to interpretation, and just my views are my views. You want to have a discussion about them below? Definitely can have a discussion about them down below. It's no problem at all. But said I can't be the only one that sees this, that feels the fumes from the motors. Delusions start to eat the world as we know it. Can we ever change ourselves the strange? I mean, do delusions start to eat the world? I mean, you got to look at the state of the world right now. delusions of power take over other countries, and they invade other countries, and they declare war on other countries. Delusions, um, of sickness and stuff like that cause people to do drastic things and infringe on other people's rights. Fear is a very destructive motivator in the world that we live in, because we do a lot of things in fear that a logical person and a rational person wouldn't probably do. That's a really scary thing about it, because when you group all those people in that hysteria, like, no, like it can just devastate everything and tear up life as we know it. And can we ever change ourselves this strange? I mean, I don't know if that's just like a standpoint from like, I'm just weird and I don't know if I could ever change myself, or are people just doomed to make the same mistakes over and over again? Because I mean, that's the real question. Because we can talk about it all day, and we can bring it to everybody's attention. It's the old saying, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink it. So when will we learn and when will we grow? Is the question that I feel like a lot of people ask themselves. At least the more like philosophical thinkers, or like the people that think, deeply about things. Will we change as people? I like to hope. I like to believe so. I like to hope so. But I don't know. I really don't know. Sorry for the little rant, but we'll get back into it. If you like this stuff, though, hit like, hit subscribe, keep coming back. This is what I do. Hello, kitty. All right. Like, this is crazy, man. This guy's really talented vocally. I always love it when someone can scream, sing, and go between and just go back and forth, back and forth. It's just a great. It shows a lot of vocal control, and that he really worked at this. I also find it funny. It's really hard to imagine that this scream coming out of this guy, like, because he just looks very plain. Like, he looks like your average Joe. And he's just like, love it, love it. But he said, and in myself, I feel that I'm always outside the reality, and inside my fragile me lies the truth concealed, hidden deep down in me. So, this is what I was essentially talking about, as far as like, me as a person, like, I've also wondered, like, am I the one that's actually just looking at this from the outside perspective, going like, this is kind of fucking weird, And he said, inside my fragile me lies the truth concealed. And, it's just like, I think these things, I see these things, but for the longest time, like, I didn't say anything about these things. Because I thought this way, I always felt like there was something wrong with me, or like, that I wasn't, I wasn't the same as everybody else, and in the society that we live today and everything like that, like it's hard to want to rock the boat, because if you don't think the way that like everybody else thinks, like it's really easy to find yourself getting shots fired at you and getting blacklisted and just, essentially like them ruining your livelihood and everything that you're trying to do. But says failure of resistance, welcome the wave of rage so far in the distance, but so close in our blood and veins, I'll fight this sentence. Nothing's real inside this scope, I'll fight my condition, nothing will ever break or harm us, strange, strange. So, failure of resistance. So like you're not stopping, whatever. Welcome the wave of rage so far in the distance, but so close in our blood and veins. So this has been boiling. I'll fight this sentence. Nothing's real inside this scope. I'll fight my condition. Nothing will ever break or harm us. Strange, strange. And he said, we're hiding the knives, scared of what we'll meet. So, I don't want to do these things, but you push me, I will do these things, essentially, is almost what he's kind of saying right there. So, very, very bold statement, sir. So in that last part, he said again, I feel like I'm outside reality, and inside my fragile me lies the truth concealed, hidden deep down in me. We'll face them all, we'll face them all, we'll take it all, we'll take it all. How can I be so afraid of living? We are the ghosts of this world. Maybe I had it wrong. Maybe he's literally just talking about being the person who looks at everything from the outside and just can't associate themselves with everybody because they feel so different. I forget the name of the there's an actual like a medical condition or whatever that you want to call it, where you don't feel like you're real, and you don't feel like um you feel things like other people, and you actually don't, is actually what it comes down to. And it's just all due to like chemical imbalances in the brain and stuff. Because he said, I'm tired of this mess. I'm tired of thoughts eating myself from the inside out. And, for someone that lives with anxiety, dude, my thoughts will eat me fucking alive sometimes, dude. And, so that's totally relatable to me because, like, no, I've made myself sick, just being afraid, essentially, just unknown factors and what the future holds and, just the daily anxieties, and I've actually dealt with agoraphobia before and not been able to leave, and just when I would leave, like there would be this crushing anxiety, like, and I just almost couldn't breathe, especially if I was to leave my house and go somewhere where it was kind of crowded or it was just populated with people at all. So anxiety is a crazy thing. And he says, I've waited so long, and the only thing I know, no matter how hard I try, I will never be free. And, you know, I know it feels like that sometimes, and I know that, you know, it never feels like some things are going to end. But as in, when it turns from day to night, it gets dark, but the light comes again the next day. It will come. You know, it's just, it won't come on your time. It'll come on its own time. And, you know, life's time, fuck life's time, you know, like, do it now, you know, because sometimes it just, you don't feel like you can hold out any longer. But just hold on, my friends. That's really nice right there. I went ahead of myself in the lyrics, obviously, because I got wrapped up in my talking. I'm sorry. That was a very nice little switch there, though. Because they all went down, you know, focusing. And then the switch. Nice. And it's like funky. That's interesting. Like, it does sound like Metallica, though, where he's like, well, who sees this? James Hetfield. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Fucking awesome, guys. Renee, thank you for that. For real. So summing up the last thing, you know, he said, but nothing ever seems to unfold. At least my sight calms me somewhat. I'm living this curse and I don't know what to feel inside me now. You know, and that's what we were talking about, and that's what I was saying as far as, like, you know, when you're trapped in something, when you're at that low, like, being someone who's bipolar, when I'm at that low, it's hard for me to see the other side of it. It's hard for me to think that it's ever going to change. And, you know, I go through lows for very long periods of time sometime, and then, like, literally because of that, like, it'll feel like it's been like that for a long time and forever. You know, and he said, I'm living this curse and I don't know what to feel inside me now. You know, as someone who struggles with, you know, mental illness and just things, you know, substance abuse and just all sorts of things of that nature, like, no, like, just because of my mental illness, like, I feel like I'm cursed. I feel like, you know, that that's one more thing against me in this world, you know, is the fact that my brain doesn't even like me. You know, so I can completely understand, you know, feeling like you're cursed because you know, you have depression, because you're bipolar, you know, just even if you just have things like dyslexia and, you know, things of that nature. Like, I mean, I have dyslexia and like I read things backwards sometimes. It just happens, you know. Like I've adapted and learned how to cope with it now that I'm an adult. But you know, it's hard not to feel like you're cursed because there are things wrong with you, but you're totally fine. You know, you're who you need to be. There's so many fucking people in the world. It'd be boring if we were all the same. Just remember that, please. Like life is more interesting when you act as your new unique selves. You know, and he says, "The filth, the black has almost swallowed me. I in a time where the compulsions have start to feast. I've been drowned by the sickness that's controlling me in a time where no one seems to care a bit." You know, and again, when you're going through that deep low, when you're in it, man, it feels like you're just being consumed. You know, it feels like you're at your wits' end, like you just can't take anymore. But the change is coming. Life works in cycles, good and bad. You know, you go through the bad and you end up in the good. And man, it's a roller coaster ride, this life. You know, but my lowest lows, I've had some of the highest highs. You know, so life's beautiful, my friends. In the words of Avatar, life is beautiful, and you know, stay a while. Just live it. You know, and people do care. You're not suffering alone. There's a lot of other people that suffer from a lot of the same things you do. And other people who honestly can just relate to you because they suffer from other things that make them feel the exact same way. You know, so you're worth it, my friends. I love all you guys. This song's really dope. Drop more from this band if you want to see more Orbit culture. I'm down to check them out, man. This song got me thinking. It's got me going. Hit like, hit subscribe, please. I would really appreciate it. It means the world to me. I'm so close. I'm a halfway. I'm at 150, and so I've only got 50 more, and I'm at 200. So let's rock, my friends. I hope to see you guys all in the next one. Have a kick ass fucking day. Have a kick ass week, and have a kick ass life. Later.